Omi and a Hellcat caught cheating with 100+ women. As you can see right here in the corner, this is Omi and a Hellcat, and this is his wife, Mimi. I just want to go into a little bit of history about Omi and a Hellcat. This is personally, and this is just to give you guys an understanding of who he is. I'm gonna go all the way back to targeting 1080p when he had a Chevy Camaro before all these supercars, where all his cars were white and he had thousands of cars on his driveways and his neighbors hated him. This is a guy called targeting 1080p when he was dealing with IPTV. And I actually have a personal story with this because I had contact with Omi and a Hellcat through a friend of mine at the time. So this is like, God, what is this? Probably like 2018, 2017. This is when he had Gears Reloaded, and this is what he ended up going to prison for. So one of my friends, he wanted to get into the IPTV space, and Omi and a Hellcat was just starting out at that time, and he was in Philadelphia. So my friend, he's kind of like moving around from Chicago to Minnesota. He kind of goes back and forth. He has family out there and family in Minnesota. And he contacted me because he knows I know a lot about, the space. I'm kind of really into tech. So a lot of people call me when it's about tech, if they have issues with software or, web design or even like creative, things that are going on within tech or like designing or something like that. I'll get calls. So he called me and he was like, yo, I want you to go down to Philadelphia with me and meet this guy called Targeting 1080p. Puerto Rican cat, Spanish cat. And I already knew about him, but he didn't know I already knew about him. But I was already kind of in that space. So I talked to him. I was like, yeah, like I know who he is. I watch his YouTube content. So this is before Omi and a Hellcat. He was called Targeting 1080p. And he didn't do all these vlogs and stuff. He just talked about IPTV, and he beefed with a lot of guys. Like, Omi and a Hellcat has a lot of enemies. I'm just going to tell y'all. Y'all might not know. Y'all might think, because he's a very likable guy, but there's a lot of people that really dislike him and pray for his downfall every single day of the year, of the week, of the day, of the hour, of the minute. And that's probably why Mimi ended up finding out about all the women that he cheated on her with. But anyways, to stick with the story, back then, Omi was looking for investors to invest in Gears Reloaded. I don't know if he had it as that name at the time. And, so my friend wanted to go down to Philadelphia. He wanted me to bring him with him, and he wanted me to invest in it. Now, at that point, I could have invested in Gears Reloaded and made a boatload of money back then. Now, I probably would have been sitting in prison next to Omi and a Hellcat now, but I would have had a lot of money in my pocket. So, what's the trade-off there? Is time worth money? I guess technically it is, because people trade time for money all the time when they work. And people say, what do you mean? No, going to jail for 5 years just to make $100 million ain't worth it. Well, you make $20,000 a year and you give up 12 hours of your day every day working for the company that you work for, and you don't make half as much as Omi and a Hellcat. Omi and a Hellcat's going to come out as a very rich man after 5 years. I think that's about what he'll do, is about 5 years, give or take, maybe less than that. And he's going to come out as a millionaire. And this is all based off of what he did with Gears Reloaded as far as his IPTV service. And then he was able to parlay that into other ventures as far as his clothing brand and different things that he's working with that's making him a lot of money now. But he was able to get a lot of attention, and attention means dollars in our times nowadays. So I had that opportunity. My friend never got into it either. He ended up going on and doing different business ventures, but it's just kind of, cool. But I always watched him back, and this is back like with Cody. Like, a lot of people probably don't use Cody anymore now, but that was a platform where you could watch basically like, movies for free. It was kind of when everything changed from buying DVDs from the guy on the corner, or the DVD guy, and the bootleg CD guy, where you get a copy of, I don't know what was hot in like 2016, right before like everything really went digital. You were still buying like, mixtapes and stuff like that. The Superstar J's, and that's when Dat Piff and live mixtapes and all that. There was actually a guy that just made a post like he misses live mixtapes and Dat Piff and all those different sites that were promoting music. People will put out mixtapes and they go out and they pump their mixtapes and all that. A lot of artists now that aren't like, under 30 know about that. So yeah, but Omi and the Hellcat was very controversial. He got into it with a lot of people, and he was, one of those people where he really is a genuine guy. And I say that because like a lot of people that beef with him ended up trying to be back on his team after the fact. They kind of realized what they were missing with Omi and the Hellcat. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is what Mimi realizes after the fact too. We're gonna go through the story, but I just initially think like he made a lot of mistakes, I guess, because if you're gonna marry a woman, you probably just shouldn't cheat on her. And this goes for women too. And I'm gonna say this personally. I talk about my personal relationships within my YouTube videos. Anytime you're gonna get a video from me, you're gonna get my personal experience within them. Women, stop cheating on your damn husbands. Stop. If you're gonna marry him and you want his resources and everything that's going on with him, do not cheat on him. And as far as I know, Mimi didn't cheat, so I'm not saying this about her, but I'm saying this about the women that I know. I have married women that have proposed to me while within a marriage, and that is just disgraceful. All right. Omi and the Hellcat's girlfriend Mimi broke up with him while he is in the feds after finding out he cheated with over 100 girls. 100. That's a lot. Hey, I'm gonna be honest though, it's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to cheat with 100 girls. Like y'all probably thinking like, how is that possible? It's not that hard to cheat with 100 girls. It's not. He's offering over $18 million, 8 properties, and 100% of his company to take him back. She can also fine him $10,000 for every time he gets on IG. She's reportedly refusing this contract. This is Mimi right here. You can see this is Omi and the Hellcat. I think we got the contract. I think I got the contract here. What the hell is this? It's not what I was trying to find. Do I got the contract? Oh, it might be in the... Oh, here's the contract here. All right. Yeah, I got it in the screenshots. Let's look at the contract that he put up, and then let's talk about it a little bit more. Okay, this is for Bill Carskilo. That's his real name, Omi and the Hellcat, formerly Target in 1080p. It's kind of cut off right here, but we can surmise what he's saying. 1, property and financial loss. In the event of I'm not even going to try to say his last name. In the event that Omi and the Hellcat will forfeit the following assets: 8 commercial properties valued at $4.9 million. You know we have fun with the million. Trust account with over $18.5 million. Ownership of 3 nightclubs along with liquid assets totaling 620,000 USD, United States dollars. Ownership rights to trademarks and buildings. Social media restrictions. Omi and the Hellcat violation will occur a penalty of $10,000 for each. Something on Instagram. I thought I could decipher that, but with a daily, something like that. Wedding conditions. This contract will be voided with the following actions: cheating or committing adultery. I don't really get that. So if he cheats, then the contract's voided and she gets nothing. That's the whole point of the contract, is to prevent him from cheating. If he cheats, she should get everything. If he doesn't cheat, she shouldn't get anything. I guess that's whatever. This is directly from his Instagram, by the way. And under is a caption: if this doesn't prove it, then nothing else will. All right. So that's the contract. And what else do we got here? This was from his Instagram the day that everything kind of broke. Most men will live lives most men live lives of quiet desperation. So he said that. I don't know what the hell this is. He says this here: having a money, but having a void in having a money. Having a money, but having a void in your heart means nothing. 100. He's using that 100 emoji a lot. I'd rather be broke and happy. Take it from a guy with a real bag. We just talked about Simone Biles and her husband, and all these like women and guys and whoever else just talking about the money. Only the Hellcat is rich. He was broke before, but he's rich now. He's telling you right here. Mimi's more important to him than having a whole bunch of money. He knows he can get the money back, but you can't replace a human being. That's what y'all are failing to realize. There's only one of the person that you really care about. You can't replace the person that you really care about and love. You can't. I don't understand why people don't realize this part of it, man. They're like, I'd rather have $100 million than have that person. I'd rather have that person than $100 million. I agree with Omi and the Hellcat from this standpoint. I do. I value relationships more than anything else in life. I say it within my overall message. I say it within my music. Relationships are the most important things within our lives. I've always said that, and I believe it 100%. The money is not as important. And people always look at like the people that they're in a relationship with, like they're disposable, because we live in this era where it's like everything's online and you can always do better as far as financially or clout or status. Forgetting that people are actually humans. But you wouldn't say that about your mother, would you? Would you? Would you say that about your brother or your sister or your father or your favorite cousin? No. You give up all the money to have your mom back for a week. Most of y'all. Some of y'all wouldn't. Some of y'all be like, man, I'm going to keep that 100 million, man. Like, I can't see my mom for another week, whatever. But most of us will say, like, look, that's more important. And I stand on that side. That's why I say the whole Simone Biles thing was like, I get it. I get it. And y'all don't know how we're past the Simone Biles thing. But anyways, I get what Omi's saying from that standpoint. Let's see. 25 MS for a chance at 100%. I don't know what that means. You must not ever love before. That ish is priceless. Let's see. Ninjas laughing at Omi, but those are the same guys that don't take care of their household. All right. That was the contract we looked over. That's that. Oh, this is a better one of the. Yeah. So basically, he's willing to give away everything that he has just to keep Mimi, and he'll give her everything. And I don't think at this point he minds giving Mimi everything. She did help him. She's been there from day one. She's not a woman that came along like. She kind of came along in the middle of everything. When he was targeting 1080p, Mimi was nowhere to be found, but that's not a strike against her, because she just wasn't around. Like, they didn't know each other at that point. He can only know her when he knows her. But when he knew her, she has been loyal and 100% for him the entire time, even before they were dating, or we knew that they were dating. And I'm just gonna say this. I like Mimi. Not in that type of way, but I like her. I really do. She is a genuine person as far as everything I've seen. She really is. And I don't know. Did Omi make a mistake? Yes, he did. I've always been on the side that cheating is not the worst thing you can do to somebody. Having relations with someone else is not the worst thing you can do to somebody in a relationship. There's so many other things you can do in a relationship that are worse than cheating. Think about it. There was this woman that was poisoning this guy, and I'm not like I talked about it in one of my songs that I made. I actually the song wasn't surrounding that, but it was talking about like those dynamics. Um, and she was poisoning her her husband because she wanted his benefits. She wanted him dead and she wanted his money. She could have just left him, but she wanted everything that he had and to be able to leave him, to be with someone that she actually liked because his money wasn't what made him attractive. She needed his money to go be with a guy that didn't have money so they could enjoy their lives comfortably and not have to worry about money. So she was poisoning him with like bleach and putting like rat poison in his coffee and all kind of stuff. And he ended up catching her, and going through the criminal. Um, she's going through the criminal process right now, and will most likely be convicted and probably sentenced to a very very light sentence because you know you never really see those type of cases get prosecuted the way that they should. A lot of times, those people get off really light within their sentence. But anyways, um, let's go to this is her Instagram. You can see right up here. I'm gonna zoom in. This web page is broken. You can't really see the URL up here unless you zoom in on your page, but this is her actual Instagram. It's been like 3 days since, and she didn't delete her page, probably just deactivated it. She'll bring it back up at some point. She didn't delete her whole. Women in social media, they don't delete. They might archive a picture. Like, I have exes right now that, we broke up. They took my pictures off of their page, but they didn't delete the pictures. They just archived them. They just archived them. They're still there. They're going to come back at some point. I promise you that. Well, I can't promise, but most likely. Omi and the Hellcat, actually, his page is ran not by Mimi, which I thought was interesting, by this guy. You can see right here. His page is ran by Mike Luzzi. So we can go to him real quick. And I don't know what he's got going on. Let's see. Has he got anything going on? He's kind of advertising his own stuff right now. But this guy right here is the one that is running his page. So he's paid to run Omi's page, and he does a good job. He really keeps Omi relevant because he posts all the time, and he's probably getting paid extremely well. The one thing I'll say about Omi and the Hellcat, he pays his people well. Everything I've seen, he pays his people well. And that's why people usually come back to him. He is man, I don't know. It's hard for me to not like Omi, man. I've been following him a lot longer than most people, so like that could be part of it. And I like Mimi too. Usually I'm like one side or the other. On this one, I'm like it's not here and it's not here. It's like literally here. These two are equal to me. Not as far as what they can produce, but as far as the people they are. And a lot of people might be mad at what I was saying with Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles, but I'll go the opposite way with Mimi and Omi and a Hellcat. I think Mimi is more important to Omi and a Hellcat than Omi and a Hellcat is to Mimi. I don't care how much money Omi and a Hellcat has. Mimi is more important to Omi and a Hellcat than he is to her. And that's why he's willing to give up everything financially for her. He knows it, and I know it. Y'all don't know it. Well, maybe not y'all, but the majority, and y'all aren't the majority that watch me, know it. It's true. Like, she is, and it's usually hard for me to like agree in that way with women, but when it's the way that it's supposed to be, I'm just giving credit where it's due. Mimi's that she's for real. Let's go and look at when they got married. Do I got that? I got it right here. This one they got married.
Make sure all the cameras are good. Mimi.
Y'all making me so nervous.
Mimi, will you marry me? Will you marry me?
Look at all the girlfriends over there. Bend down on a knee. Hey, y'all don't know I proposed before. I did propose before. I didn't bend down on one knee, though. I don't agree with that.
Pretty famous YouTuber that's made a
No, what is
lot of
this?
money, now being accused by the federal authorities of heading a massive...
I guess we can watch this. I didn't mean to even...
But look, Shep, these charges are so serious.
I didn't even mean to pull this up. I hit the wrong button. But this is basically why he ended up going to prison. And he's in prison right now as we speak because he scammed a whole bunch of people out of, well, basically what he did, I'll break it down simple for y'all. He bought internet service and then he basically bought one package and streamed it to 1 million people. So that's kind of like me buying Comcast Xfinity and then saying, hey, Cousin JoJo, I'm going to give you a link to my YouTube page. All you got to do is hit this link and then you can watch any channel you want. And then, hey, Cousin Earl, Cousin Diamond, Cousin Shaniqua, Cousin Emily. And so now that I got 5 cousins watching my show and I'm charging them $20 each, after those 5 are watching it, I'm only paying $100 for the service. Now that service is free. Now JoJo's telling Ray Ray, and Ray Ray's telling Damone, and Damone's telling Steve, and Steve's telling Stefan. So now all of a sudden, I got 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 50,000 people watching my stream that I pay for, and they're all paying me $20, and they're getting it 80% off, so they're good. But now I'm making $50 million a year off of them. That's kind of what Omi and the Hellcat did, basically, to make it simple. And he made a lot of money. Let's see.
Convicted, he could spend
Hellcat got himself in a real pickle. The FBI busted him and charged him with being part of one of the biggest illegal pirate networks in TV history. He's been sentenced to 5.5 years in prison.
Got 5.5 years.
That, he's got to pay $30 million in fines.
Not that much to him.
How did it all happen? How did he go from being a beloved YouTuber to a hated scammer?
He's still a beloved... Hold on, wait. He's still a beloved YouTuber. Some people consider him a scammer, but he's also like a Robin Hood. He was taken from the rich and given to the poor. Now, he was making a whole bunch of money doing it, but he was also giving a lot of money back. I am not an Omi and a Hellcat hater. I don't care what y'all are talking about. I don't think he's a bad guy. I just don't. That's my opinion, and that's what I'm sticking to. Period.
But in Philadelphia, as one of 38 children, his mother had passed away due to an overdose when he was a child, and his father was a dealer who forced young Omar to sell and produce substances.
He had a lot of admiration and respect for his father. I don't know if that's true. I think he alluded to something like that, but he never said specifically that's what his father did. I don't know where they're getting this information from.
Of this, the boy's education ended in the 11th grade as he ended up in prison for his involvement in the drug trade. Taking all of this into consideration, it was clear that he desperately wanted to change his life, to finally earn real money that would allow him to experience a better life. So it all began with an idea that struck Omar and his partners, Jesse Gonzalez, Pico Rivera, and Michael Barone. One day, they came up with the idea to sell fire sticks. But not just any fire sticks. For a one-time payment, they promised access to thousands of movies, TV shows, cable channels, and whatever else you'd...
Hey, we love consuming in America. God dang, like, we'll pay any amount of money just to be able to sit around and waste money watching videos. And hey, wait, yeah, that's what y'all doing right now. Hey, look, it's okay. You can sit here and watch me all day long, waste your life away watching me being entertained. It's okay.
Tired. If you're not sure how it works, let us break it down for you.
They're going to break it down right here, so let's see what they say. I kind of broke it down for y'all, but they might do a better job.
Cody Fire Stick scam involved...
Cody, that's what I was talking about right there. This is before, like... So now with IPTV service, you don't really need Cody anymore. It's side-loaded. So if you want to use IPTV, you don't need Cody anymore. But back in the day, Cody was the platform that you needed to be able to watch IPTV.
Modifying Amazon Fire TV sticks with Kodi software and selling them preloaded with third-party add-ons that allow users to stream copyrighted content for free. Exactly, Omar would buy Fire Sticks on Amazon for as low as, let's say, $17 and sell them initially for $50. Later on, he kept raising the price, eventually selling them...
Hey, I'm not even going to say that, but he did raise the price up a little bit. But his price was still more reasonable than cable. By far. It wasn't even close. If you got Gears Reloaded, you were winning as far as if you wanted to have those services. Gears TV gave you everything that you wanted for about 75% off.
$100 and $130 each.
Doesn't matter. It's still way more than you're going to pay for cable. Way more. If you want to go a whole year and say how much you're paying for cable, and let's say you're paying $2,000 a month for cable, which is very possible. Cable could be like $150 a month. With Omi, you're paying like $300 a year, max. I don't remember exactly how much it was now, but it was extremely. It was kind of like going to Midas or Car X or Firestone, Bridgestone, or name a mechanic shop, or name a car shop that's like national, whatever. Going to the Honda dealership or going to the Ford dealership to get your car fixed, or then going to the alley mechanic and having them do the same work. The car dealership's going to charge you $1,000 to fix your head gaskets. The mechanic's going to be like, I got you for shit. Throw me $150 in a case of MGD. I'm good. You know, maybe throwing a bag with it. I'm good. That's what it was dealing with Omi and a Hellcat. He was doing everything for 75% lower. Stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, but making a big bag, you know, during that time.
Quickly realized that this business was generating much higher profits than he had ever expected.
Yeah,
Scammers advertised these fully loaded fire sticks as a way to cut cable costs and access unlimited content. Although Kodi is legal open source software, these add-ons often provide access to pirated movies, TV shows, and live sports without proper licensing. There is no surprise for anyone that this practice violates copyright laws and harms content creators and copyright holders. Omar...
It does. But let's not say content creators and copyright holders. Well, I guess you could say that because it's the technical term that makes sense. But content creators is pushing it because Omi wasn't stealing from like average YouTubers like Mr. Beast or I'm just naming guys whatever who go on YouTube and whoever pops up on the For You page, not For You for on YouTube, but whoever pops up on the main page, he's not stealing from them. He's literally stealing from multi-million-dollar corporations like Marvel and Universal and Lionsgate and whoever else. That's who he was taking from. He wasn't taking from the small, because those guys are giving their stuff up for free basically anyways. If you go on YouTube, you got to watch some ads to be able to watch your favorite creator, but you're not paying $35 for a DVD to watch your favorite creator on YouTube. So let's not just say content creators. That's a lot different than he's stealing from big corporations. All right. I just I'm not saying it's right or wrong in either way, but just saying that's what he's doing. So let's not, the news is trying to skew things. That's why us as content creators on this scale are better to listen to than what we're watching right now, as far as like the news and stuff like that. They are really biased in the way that they report, and we're not.
His partners didn't feel guilty at all. They didn't think they were doing anything wrong. In fact, when the money from this business seemed to dry up, Carrasquillo came up with something even more out.
Carrasquillo. Thanks for helping me. I got that all wrong. I know how to say it now, though. Carrasquillo. I should have known that from before, but like I said, I only know him from targeting 1080p and Elmi and Hellcat. They didn't think they were doing anything wrong. I understand why they didn't. Because they are looking at it from a standpoint of these people can't afford it, and we just want to give them an affordable way to be able to watch the content that they want to see. All that goes to show is that the actual companies that create this content could sell it cheaper and still make money, because he did. Just saying.
This move catapulted him from earning millions annually to earning $1 million weekly. According to the 69-page indictment, in the years 2016 through 2019,
yeah, it was that time.
And his partners ran an illegal streaming service under various names like Reboot, Gears TV, Reloaded, and Gears Reloaded. This service offered subscribers comprehensive access to content from providers like Comcast, Verizon Fios, DirecTV, HBO, and more, all for...
Hold on. Didn't y'all just say that it was content creators? Those are not content creators. When you think of content creators, you think of YouTubers, maybe guys on Rumble, Twitch, stuff like that. What's the other one? Kick. You don't think of HBO, Verizon Fios, AT&T Incorporated. You don't think of those people when you think of content creators. So stop the cap. Y'all contradicted yourself. Like same thing we said within the other previous sections, man. Y'all contradict yourself literally a minute later. We all do that, but y'all got to be better because y'all the news.
$15 a month. This means that
$15 a month. Why y'all say that he was over there? He was raising the price. He was doing $15 a month. Cable is. See, now that we got the numbers, if you want the highest package in cable, you're paying like $175 a month. It might be like $115 at the lowest. I might be adding on like phone service and internet service. But I think just for cable, it's at least like $125 a month. I know it's about that much. And they're always going to charge you more somehow. They're always going to try to upcharge you. Hey, get the HBO package, get the ESPN, get the Cinemax package. You need stars. You want to watch one specific show, you got to pay an extra $13 a month. And Omi's Robin Hood, man. I'm rocking with him.
Omar purchased access to major streaming platforms once and then shared all their resources, practically limitless movies, TV shows, and sports for only $15 a month. Considering that HBO alone costs up to $20 monthly, getting access to everything for $15 seemed like an incredible deal for customers.
And it is an incredible deal. And it's what it should be. They want to make billions of dollars on everything. Back in the day when I used to hustle, and I'm not gonna say what it was. It could have been t-shirts, it could have been something different. But my partner that I was with, he always wanted to make like 500% profit. I'm like, we're good just making like double our profit or like 75% over. We're still doing really well making that much profit. And he's like, no, we need to make 500%. I need to make millions. And I broke down the numbers because I was equal partner, not like I was under him or over him, equal partners. And I'm like, bro, like, I get it. Like, you know, if we make that much money, we'd be able to not only drive like a Mercedes, but we'd be able to have a Rolex and a gold chain on in our Mercedes. But if we just make double, we'd only be able to drive a Mercedes and probably just have like, you know, a Tissot. Talking about watches, Rolex, Tissot, you know, Rolex way more expensive. He's like, no, I'm not going. I'm like, but the people are starting to like not like us because of our practices. Like, if we just continue and giving them a fair deal, we'll still be above them and ahead of them, but we'll keep them retained. They won't leave us for the competition. If we charge too much, they're going to find someone that does it cheaper. And he had that same philosophy as these, you know, big corporations. And eventually, he ended up falling from grace. I didn't. But that's kind of where it's at. Like, nobody's rocking with these big studios anymore. They don't like them. And I don't like them either. And that's why I rock with, you know, Omi and the Hellcat. Even though that Balenciaga he's wearing right there in the picture is like that little jacket he's wearing right there. I mean, it's not little because it's on Omi. It's probably like a 3X. But that jacket he's wearing right there is probably like $3,500. I'm just throwing a number out there. Anywhere from $1,500 to $3,500. So, you know, he's doing well, you know, off the people. But he's still giving the people a deal. So at this point, the people don't care that he's wearing a Balenciaga jacket because they're getting a deal. He's wearing the same jacket that HBO Max's people are gonna wear, but he's giving you the service for $15 a month rather than $135 a month and having a monopolization on it or having a monopoly on it. So whatever.
Due to the affordable price, Gears TV in particular became incredibly popular.
That's what I remember.
Prosecutors claim that the thieves easily collected over $30 million from subscription fees for these illegal streams. Upon becoming a billionaire,
$30 million. And they want him to pay back $30 million in restitution. He's still winning. He's got to do 5.5, but he's getting out he's going to get out with way more money than y'all got.
Omar started his YouTube career, showcasing his wealth, homes, and cars.
They ain't even talk about
Behind
1080p.
the glitz and glam, his life wasn't going well at all. Beneath the facade of prosperity, he concealed a very sad reality. He battled depression and lived in constant fear that someone would come and take away everything he had worked so hard for.
See, and that's true. I did watch all of his content throughout his career, and that's before Omi and the Hellcat. Most people started noticing him probably like halfway through his Homie and that Hellcat, aka most people don't know about him in targeting 1080p. He deleted a lot of those videos, so if you didn't see them at the time, you have no idea who he was before Omi and the Hellcat. But I'll say that he always had a lot of issues and a lot of fear, and he always expressed that, you know, throughout his tenure. So that is true. But he was also nervous because he knew he was doing something wrong. or at least illegal.
It becomes clear that all those Lamborghinis, Bentleys, and gold around his neck we saw in his vlogs and photos came from a life of crime. After a while, he even openly discussed on YouTube how he earned such a fortune. This openness caught the attention of the FBI, leading them to keep a close eye on him. But this case is far from straightforward.
That's the problem. There was a time where Omi and the Hellcat was like, there's a whole bunch of other people doing the same thing I'm doing. That's true, but we don't know who the hell they are. They don't have YouTube pages. They got the same amount of money as you, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but they never made YouTube videos flaunting their success. Omi and the Hellcat's downfall was that he wanted to show everybody how wealthy he was. That's why I say, like, remember that person that commented, Simone Biles gets 14 million views on her stories and Jonathan Owens only gets 2 million on his. Who the hell cares? They got the same amount of money. Not the same amount of money, but they're both rich. Omi and the Hellcat is as rich as anybody else doing IPTV. When Omi was doing this, there was 1,000 other Omi and the Hellcats. He got more business because he was more visible and people were able to subscribe to his stuff, but he could have just stayed off the grid, stayed fine. He wouldn't be in prison to this day. And he'd have still been a multi-millionaire. Him putting himself out to the public is the reason that he got prosecuted. Just is.
And has many more twists and turns than you might think. Before we dive into those juicy details, we want to remind you to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel.
Subscribe to Omi and the Hellcat.
Let's get back to the case. With over 800,000 followers on YouTube and 1 million more on Instagram, 34-year-old Bill Omar Carrasquillo had it all. A stunning collection of luxury high-end cars that turned heads, many properties, and loads of cash. But it didn't last long because the FBI stormed Carrasquillo's house on the morning of November 27, 2019, seizing his cars.
Damn, that was a long time ago. It took over 4 years for them to actually like prosecute him and put him in prison. If he'd have went to prison the day that they prosecuted him, he'd already be out by now. That's kind of crazy. Like, he's doing 5.5, right? This happened 4.5 years ago, though. So if he just said, you know what, I'm going to plead guilty, whatever, immediately, and he got that sentence, he'd be out right now doing his vlogs as we speak.
Jewelry and money from his bank account. Then, on September 21st, 2021, he was indicted by the FBI on 62 charges, including 19 counts of public performance of copyrighted work and 6 counts of electronic fraud. However, what's most surprising is that he continued to maintain his innocence, insisting he had done nothing wrong despite the mounting evidence against him. From his mouth, we kept hearing excuses, claiming it was a legal business that anyone could have and profit from. Even his lawyer held the same opinion. Omar had reached a point where he started claiming that the FBI couldn't charge him because he had purchased access to all those channels, allowing him to do whatever he pleased with his subscription, including sharing it with others. When his arguments ran out, his defense...
I mean, I get what he's saying. You know, he's not going to win that battle. Technically, though, I mean, yeah. If I purchase Comcast and I want to invite everybody over to watch the fight at my house, cool. And if I want to be on FaceTime, I want to grab my phone, go on FaceTime right now, and be on the phone with my son and his friends and let them watch the fight with me. Am I doing something illegal? I guess technically, but...
strategy included highlighting his difficult childhood. He spoke about his past in that extremely dysfunctional family, where abuse and poverty were a daily occurrence. This heartbreaking story might indeed evoke sympathy, making some people believe that someone like Omar should be treated with leniency. And that's precisely what happened. Despite Omar stealing from some of the world's largest streaming companies and practically building his entire life and wealth on the theft of someone else's hard work, he isn't widely hated on the internet. Just take a look at his shoe collection. Those are one-to-one replicas of Jordans. It seems
I ain't gonna lie. Hey, Hellcat, bro, he's literally stealing from the people. Hold up, bro. Let me zoom that in, bro. Y'all zoom it in. These the Jordans right here. Hey, they got him right there. He took the Jordan. He took the swoosh out. There's nothing new original under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. If y'all never listened to Nas album, The Lost Tapes, listen to that album. It's one of Nas's best albums. It's never going to get the credibility and the popularity that it should over all of his other albums and the things that he's done. But The Lost Tapes is one of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. But he has a song called There's no original idea under the sun. It's never what you do, but how it's done. What you place your happiness around material women in large paper, that means you're inferior, not major. It's true. I mean, yeah. He jacked Jordan. He jacked him. It's right here. You can see it. I'm surprised Jordan ain't going after him. But here's the thing, man. There's only so much you can do with a shoe. If I want to create a cell phone right now, what am I really going to do that's going to be different than this? Than this format? I can't do anything. Samsung and Apple and OnePlus and Motorola and BlackBerry, they all copy each other.
that people might not fully realize yet that piracy is theft and should be punished accordingly. In the latest updates on the case, the YouTuber pled guilty in February 2022. He was sentenced to 5.5 years in prison, and on March 8, 2023, he was fined a whopping $30 million under charges of conspiracy, copyright infringement, fraud.
Anyways, this is these two right here.
Take a number from 101 to 200.
Together. They had a really good relationship. And I think they'll get back together. I don't think she's going to leave him just because he cheated with 100 girls. I've been, like I said, I don't think that cheating is the worst thing you can do to somebody within a relationship. This is me personally. I know women probably 100% won't agree with me, and then men probably, like the majority, won't agree with me either. And when I say cheating, I don't mean it like being deceitful. You shouldn't like lie to somebody and do it in that way. And that's where a lot of people get it wrong. You should express to somebody from the beginning, like, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that. Kind of like an open relationship, which doesn't really work either. But I'm just saying that that's not the worst thing you can do. And men will tell you that the best sex is new sex. It's not going to be with the woman that you're with. Let's just accept it. Y'all make men accept stuff all the time. Women got to accept this as well. The best sex that you're going to have with a woman is not with the woman that you're with. I don't care if she's your wife or not. It's just not going to happen. So it is what it is. But they had a really close-knit relationship. Do we have anything else on this? Yeah. I think they had the woman. So he was cheating with women like this. So Mimi took offense to it. And she was like, yo, like, you know, what's going on? Like, you know, you're on me in a Hellcat. I'm Mimi. I'm here for you. I'm doing all these things. And you're not respecting me. You know, I'm not rocking with that. And so she chose to leave. She chose to leave. She chose to say, hey, you know what? I'm not accepting this. I'm moving on. And that's that. Okay, I got the video right here. All right, I got the video. But yeah, this is them proposing. Or Omi proposing to her. Look how happy they are.
You messed up my makeup.
We want to hear it loud. Maybe it was the answer real loud.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Relationships are like sports. Have you ever watched sports and you see your team and they're up? You know, you can relate to any sport, but let's just say your team is up significantly and it's like halfway through the game and you're like cheering and laughing, and every time something good happens, and then all of a sudden, like, it's like 2 minutes left and that other team starts to come back, and now it's like a 2-point game, and now you're nervous, and now all your emotions, you were all happy and cheesing and laughing and taunting and doing all these different things, and now like all of a sudden it's close and you're like, uh-oh, I'm scared. That's kind of how relationships are. You know, they're all happy right now. You know, you can just look, you know, we'll play it in the background. How happy they are. Omi walking around, you know, looking like he's pregnant with her baby. And, you know, everything's fine. But now, just almost a year later, everyone's crying and hurt and in disarray. That's kind of like relationships in the grand scheme of things. That's why you got to figure out a way to look at that ring. Wow. Yo, Hellcat's crazy. Did she get back the ring though? Is she keeping the ring? I want to know if she's keeping the ring. If you don't want it, I'll take it. I'll take the ring. Mimi, if you don't want the ring, I'll take it. God, them diamonds is dancing. There's a difference between motionite diamonds and then like I don't know what's going on here. I mean, the Hellcat explains it all. Oh, that's Mimi right there. I don't even know what this is. But yeah, we'll let that play in the background. Yeah, man. I don't know, y'all. Like, the thing is like Mimi, she really held Hellcat down. So I can understand why she's hurt. But Omi did things with his body, and that's what we advocate for, right? We say my body, my choice, all this type of stuff. What's the problem with cheating then? And I don't even want to call it cheating because that has a negative connotation to it. But let's just say, what's the problem with having relations with someone else? Omi never took away resources from her. He never took away her cars. He was always still there for her. Here's the other thing I want to point out. She didn't know he was cheating the whole entire time they were in a relationship. She didn't know that he was cheating until what? He was already in prison for 4, 5, 6, 7 months. He went to prison in like July. We're at the end of the year now. So he was in prison for 6 months. She didn't know he was cheating until recently. Their whole relationship, the whole marriage, the honeymoon, everything. He went to prison. He's in prison. She's texting him, calling him every day, sending him pictures so he can, you know, masturbate within his jail cell to her and all that type of stuff. She didn't know. So she was with him and he was already a cheater for 6 months, and then he can't cheat in prison unless he's cheating with another man, which she probably wouldn't even be upset about that. If Omi was in Good question. If Omi got caught cheating with another man in prison, would Mimi be mad? If Mimi found out that Omi was getting y'all, if Mimi found out that Omi was in a relationship with another man in prison, would she be upset? Would it be a problem? She take the contract in? Probably. I'm just saying. And then is Mimi cheating? How is he gonna find out? When you get with somebody, I don't care who y'all are, when y'all get together, and I told this to every woman I've been with, I don't believe that you're gonna be the only person I don't believe that I'm gonna be the only man you sleep with throughout our relationship. And I'm fine with that. That's something that I accept from the beginning. The chances of that are unlikely, to say the least. We got to stop putting such an emphasis on that. Like, it's destroying relationships. And the thing is, to prove it, is that a lot of these people try to end up going back to that same person that cheated on them or had relationships with someone else. I say cheated just because it's like the de facto word. It's like the standard word to explain having sex with someone else during your relationship, which is the correct word. But a lot of times, like, So, yeah, I don't know. They'll probably end up getting back together. She'll take him back, unless she doesn't. But they kind of seem like they're meant for each other. Let's see what else we got on this. I think I had something else. This. I think that was it. Oh, this is her Instagram. You just want to get a better look at her. This is who she is. This is her right here. This is Mimi. This is his wife. I don't think she's innocent in all this. I think Omi's just the one that got caught. And that's what it is. Looks wise, she's average like most of us are. Doesn't even look better with makeup on as far as I can tell. She does have a nice body. She keeps herself in shape. Whether she works for it or it's just a natural thing that she has, I don't know. But yeah, y'all, so we're going to leave it there. It's been a long show. Yeah. What's my perspective on all of this? Everything that we talked about so far. My perspective is this. I think we all need to realize what's most important within our lives. We get caught up too much in what everybody else thinks. It's always about the perception of things and not how we feel. We let other people feel for us. We let other people feel for us. And that's the problem. Stop letting people feel for you and feel for yourself. You know, you'll have people that say, hey, that guy's way better than him. He's got a bag. He wears all this nice stuff. He's got a nice car. He's got this, and this. The truth is that our cars are both going to get us to the same destination. Now, I ain't gonna lie. One's got, nicer leather. One's got synthetic leather. One's got genuine leather. All right, that's the difference. One's got, well, nowadays, everybody should have a nice touchscreen in their vehicle. But it's just tough, guys, because, in team, not just guys, but, women as well. It's just tough team because for me, I just feel like we're letting social media control us as a people, and it's really hurting our relationships, and we're ending up regretting things after the fact, and it's hard to see it in real time. And that's why I really want everybody to think and just be a little more objective with how they pursue relationships. Please, because I want to see the best for all of y'all team. I truly do. A team is only as good as their leader. And as me being the leader of the undirected team, I want the best for all of y'all, genuinely and truly. This has nothing to do with women or men. This has nothing to do with male or female, however you want to identify. It doesn't. It doesn't. It has to do with the corporations and the people that are surrounding you and trying to bring you down because they're down. We can't all be successful. We can't all have great things within life. And the people that know that they can't have it try to pull the people down that do have the opportunity to have it rather than enjoying their success. They just don't. And that's, I think, where, we're at a deficit and a shortfall as people. I really just want to see everybody, be the best they can, as best as they can. Um, is it going to get better? Not for the majority, but for some of us it can. And that's who I'm speaking to right now. So, as far as Jonathan Owens and Simone Biles, or Jonathan Biles and Simone Biles, that might be the better way to say it. and Omi and the Hellcat and Mimi, stay together. And Omi and the Hellcat and Mimi, get back together. Mimi, you don't have to be embarrassed because Omi and the Hellcat slept with 100 women. And even if he cheats on you again after he gets out of prison or he has sex with another woman, it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you in the way that he expresses that he does. I promise you that's not the case. This is from personal experience and just knowing what's going on when there's nobody around, when I'm looking myself in the mirror. I've been through this. I've put it out there to the public through my music and talked about the things that I've done that were wrong and made adjustments to try to be better after the fact. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to do things that are going to hurt us and hurt the people that are close to us. It's going to happen. It's okay. It's not something that you need to destroy or compromise your entire life over, because there's a good chance that you're never going to get that same. It's 100% chance, Mimi, that you're never going to get another Omar, Jonathan, Simone. It's 100% chance that you're never going to get another Jonathan or Simone. The one thing I will say about people is that we are one to one. The women that I've been in relationships with, I will never get another one to one of them. They all have different variations to the point where I like certain things that they do, and I wish that I had certain things that the other woman did that the other woman doesn't do. You're never going to get perfect. But at some point, you have to be okay with what you have and understand that at some point it can only get worse. It won't get better. 80% is better than taking a chance for 100% and ending up with 30%. That's what I'm trying to say. Be happy with your 80% and enjoy it. And don't say, I'm better off alone. I don't need no one. You do. We all need somebody. We're better off together than we are alone. I can look at relationships with my own mother and understand that she might want another son. I might not be the best son out there, but I know I am the best son for her. And I would never want her to dismiss me or get rid of me as a son just because she feels like she can get a better one out there. There's no one that's going to be a better son than my mom. Even though I'm not 100%, I'm still the best son that she's ever going to have. And yeah, I'm taking shots at my other brothers. Period. I'm the best son our mom has. Say something. My other two brothers. Me, yeah. I know. I ain't mean to take shots at them, but that's just kind of how it came out. Because I'm doing this like, you know, all in the moment. And this is just true testimony from me, Dotcell, the undirected guy. Team, I love you. I appreciate y'all. And I want us to grow together. I hope that there was things that helped y'all throughout this extremely long stream. And it betters us in one way or another. And we learn from other people's mistakes and what they went through so we don't have to go through it. I think I got a soundbite for this. What do we got?
Goodbye.
That doesn't fit, man.
Goodbye.
That goodbye doesn't fit. I was trying to be like more like goodbye. But we're gonna rock with this one. Dotcell out.
Goodbye.